Good morning, everyone. You guys can still hear me in the back? Yes? You can still hear me? Perfect. All right. Good morning. My name is Rami Sheikh. I am the organizing committee chair. I'll be delivering the opening remarks and the closing remarks, and when we deliver the awards. So I'm very glad that we were able to pull this off, and thank you all for joining us today and for participating. We had a significant number of contributors and participants in this championship, so this was fantastic. I couldn't have asked for more, honestly. So, all right, we'll get the ball rolling, starting with acknowledgement. On behalf of myself and my co-organizer, Saransh, who's sitting here up front, we'd like to thank, our program chair, Eric Rottenberg, who couldn't be with us here today. We released as part of this competition. They provide us with resources, ARM compute, or our time, me and Saransh's time. We spent many months working on this to pull this off. Eric was actually my PhD advisor, and he was actually Saransh's master advisor. Muawiyah's PhD advisor. I guess there's a lot of familiar faces in the room today. So I want to thank Eric for helping us pull this off. Also, big thank you to our program committee, who've been very active, with program reviewing the papers and going through the discussions. We have veterans from industry and academia. Championship was 20 years ago, 2005. That was the very first one. And then between 2 to 4 years, we held the next 4. So 5 championships, each of them were within 2 to 4 hours from each other. That was great. But now we're in 2025, right? It's been 9 years since we had one of these competitions. And I think our esteemed branch prediction experts have been resting. We're going to bring you guys back into the fight. So it's been a very long time, 9 years without a branch prediction championship. So, and if you look at the trend of submissions to these different championships over the years, it used to be very high at the beginning of the first few championships, and it started to slow down. Like the last championship had a relatively low number of participants. But I'm very pleased to say that for this championship, we actually had a number of submissions that's as high as the very first branch prediction championship. We received 18 submissions, and we accepted 9. And for the Google group that we set up for this competition, we had over 170 people who joined the group and showed interest and engaged. So it's been a very engaging and enriching experience, at least for me. So this is exciting. It's been a very long time. We need one of these. And then the other thing is, the research on branch prediction have slowed down. The state of art remained largely stagnant. So we really wanted to reignite the community's interest in working on this problem. This is a fundamental problem. In industry, we spend countless hours every year, every CPU generation we build, working on branch prediction. And we really rely on the brilliant minds in academia to help us push this art forward. So, we really want more hands on deck, more people looking at this problem. Also, as industry organizers, we have access to workloads that may not be available to academia, or workloads that may not be available to even people who has in industry that are more young. So at ARM, we really have a very large portfolio touching all the market segments. So this enabled us to have this very rich set of workloads and applications. And we thought this would be actually an excellent opportunity for us to share and give back our traces to the community. This is something we've done before when me and Arthur organized the Value Prediction Championship in 2017. We also released over 1,100 industry traces at that time. So we're going to leverage this opportunity to give to the community a large number of highly relevant, industry relevant applications, and rich and diverse. So, and the other thing is, advancing state-of-art branch prediction is instrumental. It's one of these very few optimizations in a CPU design that give us both performance and energy efficiency. So it's very key that we keep advancing this microarchitectural optimization. And I think collaboration between industry and academia is instrumental for this to help us refuel innovation on this front. So this is why we're doing a CBP. So what's new about this new CBP? Well, as I mentioned earlier, it's the traces. We are releasing traces that cover a wide spectrum of workloads. These are industry-relevant applications. I'll talk about them a little bit. In the traces we released, we actually not only included information about basic instruction information, but we also released runtime and execution information, like register dependencies, register values, memory addresses, memory values, to help unlock new dimensions in branch prediction. So I think that will also allow for using these traces for other studies too. Actually, for the value prediction traces we released, I can count 20 plus, if not more, papers that have been published using those traces we released in 2017. So I'm hoping this will also provide a lot of ammunition for researchers to, investigate these new relevant workloads and, publish interesting ideas. So the way we selected the traces, this is a conditional branch prediction championship, so we tailored the selection to be focused on that problem. All of the traces have a high branch mispredictions per thousand instruction and PKI, and also show good sensitivity to performance scaling when you reduce NPKI. We basically constructed this large list of traces and we broke it down into training and inference. The categories of applications include integer applications, floating point, web applications, media, compression, and infrastructure, data center applications. The traces were broken into two. There's the training set, which we released with the championship when we opened it up. And then there's the full list, which actually includes the training set. So it's really one large list, and we extracted a subset that we give to the contestants for training. Without looking too much at the numbers, this is sort of like a visual view of the breakdown of the traces based on the different categories. And you can see that the training set and the full set, which is what we will use for grading and ranking the participants, we maintain the same ratio and representation of the different benchmark suites, or I guess workload category. Now, other aspects that are part of this competition, we released a superscalar simulator. It models a large out-of-order superscalar. It's derived from the Value Prediction Championship simulator, though we enriched it in many different ways. In particular, we exposed strategic points. We gave the contestants visibility into strategic points in the CPU pipeline. So not just the prediction and resolution or execution. We gave them access to like decode, agent for load store, execute, commit, and of course the information that would be available in a real CPU design is the one that's available at the different pipeline stages. So this allows you, for hopefully some interesting ideas to be done. Okay. In terms of the competition itself, we gave a generous 192 kilobyte budget of storage. We gave the last championship winner, Tage SCL, as the base predictor. So it was a 64 kilobyte base predictor. The total budget is 192. We gave the last championship winner, Tage SCL, as the base predictor, but contestants have the option to not use it. If you choose to use it, then you'll have a 128 kilobyte additional storage to use. But if you don't want to, you have the 192 to play with. For ranking and or grading purposes, we use two metrics: reduction in branch mispredictions and reduction in cycles on the wrong path. These were two metrics, but from the data that you'll see later, both of them are tracking one another. We were hoping that will kind of like add a difference. So this is like raw mispredictions versus like some criticality aspect or wasted energy aspect. But at the end of the day, they largely showed the same trends. And since we released the framework and the traces, a lot of participants came up with some really good questions and asks. And some of them we were able to accommodate, some we couldn't. And this is a topic that I'll bring up later in the second half, after, in the closing remarks. But there was some reasonable asks. Some of the contestants wanted access to additional microarchitectural state, like the BTB or the L1 data cache. Others were also mentioning something that, even though the traces were rich and have a lot of information, there were asks about including additional information, like, the immediate value encoded in the instruction. So I'm going to bring this up later on, but I acknowledge this, and I appreciate everyone bringing this to our attention. the thing is, we have a short runway to get everything in place and released, and there were certain points where it was too late to make changes. But everything is possible for the future. Okay, so some of these may be addressable. So, okay, I've been chewing your ear talking for the last 5-10 minutes about this competition and why we need it and the workloads. But did we accomplish what we set up to do? And I think it's an astounding yes. We are delivering to you today a rich, diverse program. We have advanced state-of-art predictors, Tage and Perceptron. You have the latest and greatest version of these, I guess, in this competition. There's some work done on the steering between the two, which is an interesting problem on its own. There's auxiliary predictors that have been proposed to augment Tage, ones that are aware of the program structure. One is the program idiom predictor and the code structure aware. Moreover, we have also submissions that integrated non-conventional history, non-branch history, to be precise. We have papers that used register values for correlation, loaded values, and load memory addresses. So this is really what we're actually trying to get people to think about. So I'm very glad and was very pleased when I saw this set of submissions. So, okay, we have these excellent submissions. Did we actually advance state of art? And well, let's see. So this graph here will show the reduction in MPKI with respect to the 64 kilobyte branch predictor winner from last competition. These are at the x-axis here, you see the different applications. Remember that the budget for the competition was 192 kilobytes, but the base predictor we gave is 64 kilobyte. So we wanted to provide equivalent capacity comparison. So we naively scaled the Tage SCL predictor. If you scale the Tage SCL predictor from the last competition, just increasing structure sizes to get close to the 192 kilobyte budget, you get this much reduction in MPKI, an average of 8.7, and a healthy reduction across the board. So this is great. So now this data is on the full traces though. Yeah. So no one will be able to tell who won when I show the next section. The winner of this competition actually delivered a substantial reduction. These two design points are ISO budget. The winner was able to deliver significant MPKI reduction under the same budget, 5.7 like in integer, almost 11 in FP, 9 in infra, and it's like a healthy reduction across the board, a total of 5.7 MPKI reduction under ISO budget. I don't know if this seems like a small number. This is a huge number. If you work in academia, industry, sorry. This is something that's it's an astronomical reduction in MPKI. So great. I think we have delivered a new program, excellent MPKI reduction. So this is awesome. I mentioned earlier that we have another metric that we rank based on, which is cycles on the wrong path, reducing cycles on the wrong path. And again, this is the same chart, the scaling Tage SCL versus the winner. And as you can see, there's a substantial reduction in cycles on the wrong path. For ease of, you guys are not going to remember the numbers from a previous chart, so I added them here. So this is MPKI reduction, this is cycles on the wrong path reduction. It seems like the trend holds mostly except for all applications, except for infra, where there's significant MPKI reduction, while the reduction of cycles on the wrong path is much, much smaller. And that is attributed to the iCache misses and how they dilute cycles, how we computed cycles on the wrong path because of iCache misses. Infra applications are known for high code footprint, so iCache misses, and that it complicates cycles on the wrong path measurement. Okay, all right, excellent. So we have a new, also surprising announcement we would like to share. So in addition to giving out contestants, the certificates and the plaque for the top 3, we also have a monetary award that we're giving to the top 3 predictors. There will be a $1,000 award for the first place, $500 for the second place, and $250 for the third place. We were actually able to get ARM to put this money aside. ARM doesn't deal with contestants directly, so the money is actually deposited into an account at NC State, and that's where the money will be delivered to the contestants through. But I think this is an interesting thing, so thank you for the applause. So there's so much fine print at the bottom. I'm not going to even talk about it. So there's like cross-country complications. There's all sorts of things that could get in the way. But the money is there. It's just on the account. Now it's on you to harvest. So I just want to bring one last point before I wrap up the opening remarks. I want to bring a couple of questions to your attention. We will come back to them later so they can at least think about them some. We saw a significant number of participants. There was a consistent feedback that the runway for the competition is too short. We announced in February, delivery was in May. Contestants had 2-3 months to work on their predictor. That wasn't, I guess, this is a hard problem, so you need more time. So a legitimate concern was the runway was too short. So the question I want to pose, and I want you to think about, and then we'll revisit later, as I said, is it worth making this a year-round competition? We've done it before with Value Prediction 1, and we continue to receive submission on that one. So is it worth making it a year-round competition? What other changes people would like to see to the infrastructure, whether it's access to microarchitectural state or something else they would like to see, any exposed state from the CPU. Also, what other information they would like to see in the traces. I'm not committing to doing anything here. I just would like to collect input and then see how feasible it is to pursue this and keep this championship going. So with that, I'm going to jump. This is our program for today. We'll have 2 sessions. We'll have 6 presentations in the first one and 3 in the second one. We'll have a 30-minute break, 11 to 11:30. And after the second set of presentations, we'll do the closing remarks and the awards. So thank you, and I would love to, we'll talk a lot more. Sorry we started a little late. I was kind of hoping to get to talk to you guys more, but this is all. This is our program for today. Now I'll invite, Andre, you can come in and you can take it from here.